All right, so we're in the studio today. We're talking about school choice in South Carolina, which is a pretty much non-existent conversation because school choice in South Carolina is pretty much non-existent. There is a small special needs program that was approved several years ago, which unfortunately took choice out of the free market and put it under state government, specifically an entity called Exceptional SC. Now, this group was empowered to raise money, which could then be deducted on people's taxes, which it would distribute to students via scholarships. And again, it's a limited program. It applies only to select students with special needs, and it's capped at around 12 to 14 million a year. So again, not a big program. To put that 12 to 14 million number in perspective, South Carolina government-run schools this year are spending $13 billion. Okay, so big difference here, all right? But the program is interesting because it has sparked a ferocious battle within the Republican Party. On the one hand, there are establishment Republicans who are loyal to the party's former chairman, a guy named Chad Connelly. And then there are sort of insurgents, I like to call them. They're members of a group called MysCGOP.com that are challenging the party establishment. And they are loyal to the Greenville County GOP chairman, a guy named Jeff Davis, and his wife, Olga Lisinska. Now, this battle has played out all across the state. It's been fascinating to watch. Jeff Davis won his bid for chairman in Greenville County. That's one of the counties where this insurgency has taken control of the local party. But again, it all boils down to a battle over school choice, and specifically the fact that Jeff Davis and Olga Lisinska were running the state's small, limited school choice program prior to the state coming in and taking it over. And when the state came in and took it over, Chad Connelly, the establishment Republican, got the business. Now, as we reported in December of this year, Chad Connelly was under investigation by the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division. And he was under investigation over allegations of embezzlement that were made by Davis and Lisinska. Now, these allegations were investigated by SLED. A preliminary report was prepared, and it was turned over to the office of South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson. And shortly after receiving that report, Wilson's office indicated that it was declining to prosecute, not prosecuting Chad Connelly for embezzlement in connection with the allegations. Now, we submitted a Freedom of Information Act request to SLED seeking a copy of the report because we wanted to see for ourselves, okay, exactly what was he accused of, and was the decision made by the Attorney General's office the correct one? Should they have indeed decided not to charge him? Well, we got that FOIA back, and I had the opportunity to review the report this week, and there were some very disturbing developments, or revelations rather, not developments. I guess this all happened 2 years ago, but some very disappointing revelations in this report. First of all, the report contained a number of appendices with documents related to SLED's investigation. One of those documents was very interesting. It was a July 30, 2020 memo, which was issued by the Department of Revenue, its director, Hartley Powell, which basically concluded that the Exceptional SC program, this limited school choice program under Chad Connelly, was misappropriating money. Specifically, it was exceeding a cap on administrative expenses that was set by the South Carolina General Assembly when they created the program. So basically, it was spending more money on administrative fees and costs than it should have been. In fact, that it was legally authorized to do. Now, was that Connelly's fault? Well, he's the executive director of the program. I would argue that he probably should have known. But ultimately, the decision to make the payments to him in excess of this legal limit, that decision was made by Exceptional SC's board of directors. Now, does this matter now? Well, Connelly was let go, or let me rephrase that. He and Exceptional SC parted ways in August of 2020, just a month after the Department of Revenue found out about this excess appropriation. So he was let go, and the board chairman of Exceptional SC stepped down. But here's my point, folks. You can't break state law, and then say, "Oh, my bad," and just kind of walk away from it. Okay. So at some point, someone knew that money was being paid over and above what the law allowed. And again, was that Connelly? I don't know. Obviously, that wasn't proven because the Office of the Attorney General declined to prosecute him, and SLED found no evidence that he broke the law. but didn't somebody? I mean, if he's getting paid. And it was also very interesting in looking at the report, there were invoices from Chad Connelly to Exceptional SC in the amount of $11,300 per month. Per month. That's a lot of money, people, and that's money that should have been going to scholarships for children. Now, again, I don't know who authorized what payments, but it's very clear to me that somebody in this process broke the law. And once again, when you violate the law, you don't get to go back and say, oh, I didn't know, or I'm sorry, or oops, or oh, I'm stepping down. No. Somebody needs to be held accountable for it. So this week, what we've done is not only report on the findings of this investigation, but we are calling on SLED to reopen this inquiry, get a detailed accounting of every single payment that was made, and to hold the people who misappropriated accountable for their actions. And I'll tell you why this matters, folks, because if South Carolina is going to move forward with real school choice, with an authentic, market-based dynamic to its academic offerings, we've got to have faith in that process. We've got to know that the money that's being appropriated is being sent to the right places in accordance with the law. Otherwise, we're never going to have school choice in South Carolina because those who oppose it are going to use stories like this to attack it. So again, I'm calling on SLED today to reopen their investigation into Exceptional SC to find out where this money went and to find out who misappropriated it.